SEO is something that I, as an online marketer, have conversations about often. People want to know what they need to do to get their page rank higher in the search results. These are logical concerns, as most companies that I work with need as much exposure as possible. And since organic search is responsible for over half of website traffic, SEO is the smartest place to start. Problematically, however, SEO is a mystery to most small business owners. And with all the outdated and misguiding information out there, it's easy to get lost. Worse yet, it's easy to cause your search ranking to get buried. With that in mind, it's time to shed a little light on the most important rules of SEO. Today, I'm going to share the 5 great rules of SEO and a practical strategy based on them. Every time I write or talk about SEO, I get asked the exact same question. How can I get my site to rank in the top 5 for Google? The honest to goodness answer? I don't have a clue. See, there's no guaranteed way to rank number 1 on Google search. No SEO tactic can give you a guarantee. There are a few good practical reasons for that. If there were a surefire method to rank high in Google, everyone would do it. By default, there can only be one ranked number 1. That means somebody has to fill from rank 2 on down. Basic math says I can't guarantee number 1. Same with page 1, which has an average of 8 results that aren't ads. There's nobody outside of Google that knows the entire algorithm either. I venture there's nobody inside Google that knows that secret. To guarantee a rank, we'd have to know exactly what Google ranks and how important each thing is. That would allow us to game the system, which Google's trying to stop from happening. They make their money from delivering the best search results. That's the thing that keeps users coming back to them for search. Users that see the ads that pay Google's bills. Make sense? There are so many SEO factors that have nothing to do with you. The amount of time people are spending on your site, for example. Google's constantly monitoring those factors and re-ranking your site. Even if there was a secret formula to get you the number 1 spot, those other factors would change, making your rank change. It's important to understand that ranking it gets you seen is the most important thing you should look for as a result of optimizing for search. If you expect the wrong things, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Thankfully, despite the subterfuge that Google wraps around its algorithm, we can still learn from what works. We got some general rules that come from years of working with SEO. They're not a guarantee for page 1. However, the rankings you earn with them are far more likely to last than forcing your way on a page 1 will. That's because they're based on honest practices and intention to deliver real value to your audience. It's the opposite of gaming the system, and Google likes it when you behave that way. If you want Google to rank you well, you need to actually answer the question asked. See, you could try all the old tricks that used to work for SEO, but if you're not answering the questions, your ranking won't keep for long. That's because Google, and Bing as well, has improved its ability to return results related to the searcher's real reason for searching. Google's better at helping people solve their problems. Because they've put a bigger focus on that idea, content that does the best job of solving the problems winds up ranking higher. If you can't manage that with your content, you won't rank well for long, if at all. And even if you make it to the top, you'll quickly get dethroned by somebody who answers the question better. Back in 2008, the SEO rule was to make a separate page for every set of keywords. That means a pizza company might make separate pages for best pizza, best pizzas, and pizzas that are the best. Today, that's absurd. Because each of those keywords or key phrases has the same intent, Google will bring up your best pizza page no matter which of those 3 search queries are used. That's because matching the searcher's intent works better at solving the searcher's problems. Now it's better to focus on creating a single page for the keyword and as many of the related intentions as possible. In the old days of SEO, we used to hide keywords in every piece of code that wouldn't be seen by the human eye. Trust me, there's a lot of them. They'd be hidden in every corner of a website, including a whole block of code dedicated to every variant of the keyword that we could think of. Today, Google penalizes that behavior. It's called keyword stuffing, and Google considers it gaming the system. However, if you want to rank well, there are still a few HTML assets that you want to use. Primarily speaking, you need to include your keywords and phrases in the title and body of your content. Yes, you can rank well without doing that, but it's ill-advised. Google prefers to see keywords there, but more importantly, the searcher does. When the answer to their question is in the title of your page, they're more inclined to click. There are a few other tags you want to include your keywords in as well. Headline tags, which are the bolded titles of each section. If you can get your keyword into your address, it influences the searchers as well as Google. There are some other technical reasons, including linking to the page too. The meta description. This one's a little bit more technical, but it's the little 2-line description that Google reads and lists under the search results. It influences the searcher too because they can see their keyword there. The image attributes. This is going to move your images to the Google image search pages. However, try to fit the keyword into an accessible description of the picture. Google uses ADA accessible site features to rank you as well. The alt attribute gets used by screen readers. It's generally better to use the keyword in the image title if at all possible, as well as the image name. Save it as keyword.jpg. As you optimize your page, you're also going to want to use SEO language that shows Google that you're talking about the same thing. Alright, that might be a little confusing based on what I just said, but I got a great example for you. What I'm talking about here is taking advantage of words or phrases that Google may already associate with the keyword you're optimizing for. Take a piece of content that's optimized for a particular particular keyword, then add in other words and phrases commonly associated with it. For example, if I'm writing a piece about the San Gabriel Mountains, which is a mountain range close to my office, but don't mention trails, peaks, nature, or national parks, Google might see that as weird. But if I include Mount Wilson and Mount San Antonio in my article, Google associates these things with the query San Gabriel Mountains. Just so you know, there's no semantic connections here. These words and phrases are commonly associated with each other by Google, as well as people searching. Don't fall for some pseudoscience like LSI. It has no use in the modern SEO world. Instead, use Google's related searches to find out what words would be helpful. It's much more reliable because Google's telling you what Google relates to its keywords. Here's the real kicker. Google's watching to see how long a person stays on your page. The longer a person stays, the more likely it is that they're getting the answer to their query. The more they stay on the same site, possibly reading other content, the more relevant your content is to their query. That means you'll be ranked higher when that query and its related searches come up again. However, there's a caveat here that Google can't see. If your website design sucks, people are going to leave no matter how good your content is. It's important to have great content, but it's equally important to make sure your site visitors can get to that content easily. If your site's hard to use or hard to read, they'll hit the back button. That means Google ranks you lower. Now, here's the SEO process that you should be using. This isn't the only process out there, but it's simple and it's practical. You can also get a ton more technical with it, but these basics will at least get your SEO in a decent place without too much headache. You'll likely beat most of your competition with this alone. Obviously, optimizing for search requires a little bit of planning. You're not going to make content that fits your audience's needs if you don't know what their needs are. Make a list of all the keywords that you can that match the intent your content will solve. Yes, there should be a list. And you need to research them in advance. Use great keyword research tools and related searches at the bottom of Google search. Don't be overwhelmed. While you need to try and include as many as possible, you won't have to include all of them. And if you have to sacrifice keywords or quality, keywords are the obvious choice. So now you know what searches you're targeting, but what do those searches mean? I mean, if somebody searches best pizza, what do they want from that? They might want to know who makes the best pizza. Maybe they want to order a great pizza. Perhaps they want to know what goes into making a pizza that can be called the best. Or maybe they want to know who says the pizza maker makes the best pizza. It could be any or all of those intentions. Figure out which intention your audience has when they search for your keyword. Remember, you can create pages for every intent. If you find that there are a few intents for the same search, be excited. You just plan some future content. So now you're writing a script for SEO. Just like script writing, you need a storyboard. Sketch out where you're going to put the headline, the subheadline, and the other important key concepts so they make a great visual impact. You got to think about this in advance because you want your audience to know they found the right content right away. That means you have to make sure that they stop long enough to see that your content's going to help them. A great visual layout with key information presented upfront and easy to see will do that. You're going to make sure that you've got all the information they're looking for represented visually with your content, written or not. So one of the things I notice with SEO is the way a piece of content comes across when the keyword is the main thought. It usually feels unnatural. It's not obvious in most cases, but you can just tell that something's awkward. That's why I recommend writing for the content first, then adding the keywords later. Let's be real, you're writing about a specific topic. There will automatically be some keywords and related terms in there. You can't write about something without those. However, don't worry about the quantity and placement until you've gotten the message down. Create value first, then go back and inject keywords, key phrases, related terms, top concepts, and other topics you want to be included. Your writing is going to come across way more natural and easier to read. That's going to make it easier for your audiences to ingest. For modern SEO, backlinks still matter. However, you can't use shady means to get them, and you most certainly don't want them from sites with a bad reputation. That means you need to get influencers and your audience to share, amplify, and link to your content. They're only going to do that if they see value in your content. However, they have to make it to your content to see the value. Your introduction is key to making that happen. By writing a hook that gets people, well, hooked, you get them to stick around long enough to see the value. But how do you write a great introduction? The most important thing is to understand your audience and what interests them. Include humor, inject context, and amplify the problem you're going to solve. They'll pay attention. The biggest reason SEO becomes so convoluted is that people get their heads in the wrong space. They start thinking about getting found in search and getting that #1 spot. However, that's the kind of thinking that will sink your SEO ship. Instead, focus on delivering your audience the exact content they need. Optimizations will look and feel more natural. People will engage with your site more for longer stretches. And most importantly, Google will begin to elevate your ranking. By following this strategy and the rules that formulated it, you'll wind up far ahead of your competition. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's episode. I hope you found some real value and now understand SEO a little better, and that you can take this strategy that I provided to you, put it to use, and see your search rankings grow. If you did find value in this, do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button right there. While you're at it, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos, and comment below. Let me know the most valuable piece of information I shared. That way I can make better content for you in the future. We will catch you next Friday with another video. Have an excellent week. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'd like to help you learn SEO the smart way. Right now, I'd like to introduce our Smart SEO guide. In order to download it, all you have to do is visit visceralconcepts.com/YouTube-SEO-guide. Put your first name, last name, and email address in the form, and we'll send it to you so you can put it to use immediately and boost your SEO results. You know how important SEO is, but getting it right may be a mystery to you. That's why we've got our guide to getting your SEO right the smart way. This checklist is going to help you understand how internet users search, learn to optimize your content for your audience, get your pages optimized for search engines, and analyze the impact of your SEO efforts. It's time to stop treating SEO like magic and start treating it like a science. That's only going to work when you start to think of SEO in a smart way. Download the guide right now. Again, visit visceralconcepts.com/YouTube-SEO-guide. Put your first name, last name, and email address in the form, and we'll email it to you so you can put it to use immediately and start seeing higher search rankings, better search results right now.